Thanks for hearing me. My name is Tom Massey. I'm a father. I'm a sixth-generation beef cattle producer, and I'm a large animal veterinarian in the state of Virginia. I come from the 18th district. Washington, Virginia is my home. I see and care for food animals every day, all day, and the farmers and the producers who take care of them. I have some grave concerns about having no oversight and no quality control standard for the production of food products, particularly when you for things like dairy products, where they leave the cow and they end up on a high chair within 2 days. We don't have a lot of time for testing and looking in a commercial dairy, much less an unregulated dairy where nobody's checking anything. I have concerns about pathogens. I have concerns about some of these pathogens that we don't get better from. And I'm not a fearmonger. That's not what I'm here for. I'm concerned that our society in general is unaware of the gravity of the risks that are there within these products, depending on how they're harvested. And the members of the group that's in favor, I would imagine, would also say you could probably lay these guys out beside one another and say they're all producing milk. They wouldn't operate under the same quality care standard, quality control standard. Everybody has a different level. And the nice thing about our regulations, it sets a bar. We say above this bar, this should be a safe and wholesome product. Thereby, we don't hear of foodborne disease outbreaks associated with raw milk, not with raw milk, but with milk from a commercial dairy. We don't hear about those. Processed products is where our troubles start. We don't hear about those things. Somebody's watching. There's a standard. There's documentation. There's somebody, an external auditor, that looks at these dairies many times a year. And I think there's a lot of merit in that. And I think it goes a long way to protect a society that is further removed from pathogens than you were or than I was. When I was a kid, they told me I had to eat a peck of dirt before I died. They didn't say I had to eat it one sitting or if it was a lifetime accumulation, but I'm certain I've had that peck and I'm still here. But I have an immunity that's probably better than most people here just by virtue of what I do and where I'm from. Society as a whole, drinking chlorinated water in a very protected world and a climate-controlled world, I just don't think has the ability to withstand those things, and I think there's some risk.
Okay. Let's see, any questions? Yes.
Yeah, Doctor, does this bill, in your opinion, do away with all meat
Mark, speak up, please.
Does this bill do away with meat inspections just generally, and do away with regulation of a dairy barn? And
That's certainly for those who wish to do that. Yes, that's correct. I mean, there still could be those that want to be regulated, that would still maintain their grade A dairy standards and could ship milk the way they always did. But this would do away with the need to necessarily do that. And on the meat inspection side, certainly some big concerns there. Certainly, as we've all heard about this concern about non-ambulatory cattle and when the cattle that are down for whatever reason, the conditions in which they're slaughtered under and processed under are regulated pretty heavily, and should be, because the same bill allows a lot of things. There's a huge amount of latitude in this, and it would allow me, if I understand the bill correctly, to slaughter an animal as I choose this morning for breakfast and stand beside it on the road, hang it from a loader bucket, and ask if you like the piece. And that personally concerns me at a lot of levels. And I think with no knowledge of who took care of it, who's going to be responsible for the side effects.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What about federal inspection? I mean, wouldn't this violate federal meat laws, standard laws? You know, USDA approved. How would they get around the federal law if we did this?
I don't know if I can speak to your question exactly, but certainly there would be no, I would assume, no USDA inspection either. And I'm not sure if the gentleman that travels 5 hours to get the bacon processed is going to a USDA-approved facility, and that's why he's making that trip. I was kind of guessing that because there's slaughterhouses other places closer that are not USDA inspected. USDA inspection allows you to ship across state lines. Depending on where you live, Russell County being one of them, that's an important thing. So when you start thinking about moving unpasteurized, licensed products across state line, now you're breaking federal law. Exactly as you said. So these counties that are on the edge that do that, just because Virginia says it's okay, doesn't mean it's okay to take it to Tennessee. And that's federal law.
Okay. Any further questions? Thank you for making the trip. You'll get, Rob will have a wrap up at the end, so I see some hands jumping up there, so